Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss Boolean and character data types in Java. Before starts today's session, let us try to recall what have we discussed in our last lecture. Why float variable can't store decimal value without suffix f. What is precision? Can we store other than decimal literals as float type? Can we get infinity as an output of a program? What is NaN? When will we get NaN as an output? All these are covered in detail in the lecture 15. If you haven't watched that, please watch that for the better understanding of this video. The link is given in the description. After watching this video, you will get the knowledge about: is non-zero number treated as 1 in Java? Why character data type range is expressed in numbers? What is Unicode system? Why character data type needs 2 bytes in Java? Why do we use size, minimum value, maximum value attributes? So we started our discussion about the data types. In lecture 13, we discussed what is data type, what are primitive and non-primitive data types, and what are the major differences between primitive and non-primitive. After that, in lecture 14, we discussed about the integer data types, byte, short, int, long. All are covered in lecture 14 with example programs. In lecture 15, we covered float and double data types. So in this video, we are going to cover remaining 2 data types. Those are Boolean and character data types. Let us start our discussion with Boolean. Boolean data type is used to represent any of the 2 values, true and false. If you want to store true or false, you can create a variable of Boolean type. JVM uses 1 bit to represent a Boolean value internally. In C, C++, 0 is treated as false and any other non-zero value is treated as true. But it is invalid in Java. This is very important point. See the syntax. Boolean is a data type. Variable name is var, assignment. You can assign either true or false. In this example, Boolean data type, variable name is answer status. Suppose if you want to evaluate multiple choice questions, the answer given by the candidate or student may be true or false. In such cases, generally, we created variable of Boolean types. So the answer status may be true, may be false. So in this example, I am storing true. And if you want to print that value, answer is within the double quotes concatenated with your variable name. Just run it. The output is answer status is true. Now see one more example, very important point. While assigning the values, either true or false, should be in the lowercase letters only. If you write T in uppercase or F in uppercase, that raises an error. You can observe now, true cannot be resolved to a variable. So in this case, true is not treated as a value of Boolean. I will show you one more important point. Now see, this is the example program in Python. So this is the Boolean variable. I am assigning the value true where T is capital. Then I want to print that variable value Boolean where. If you execute this, you will get the output true. Here the important point is true and false are the Boolean values where T and F should be capital letters in Python. If you change it as lowercase, then run it, you will get an error. because name true is not defined. So why I am showing this to you is, in Python, in the values of true and false, T should be capital, F should be capital. But in the Java, the rule is different. If you write T as a capital, that will raise an error. All should be in the lowercase letters only. Remember this point. One more example. While assigning the value true or false, you should not write the double quotes for the value. If you write double quotes for the value true or false, that value is treated as a string type. Now see, that can show the error like cannot convert from string to Boolean. One more important point regarding to the Booleans. We covered one point, that is all non-zero values are treated as true and zero values are treated as false in C, C++ and Python also. But the same statement is invalid in Java. If you write any non-zero value, that will not be treated as true. See this example. In this example, I am implementing if-else. What is if-else? That will be covered in the coming videos. But as of now, try to understand. If you write any true value within the parenthesis of if, this block should be executed. If it is false, else block should be executed. So whenever we are writing a non-zero value in any all other programming languages, that treated as true. So the if statement will be executed. But in Java, if we write like this statement won't be executed. See now, type mismatch. Cannot convert from int to Boolean. Any integer values cannot be treated as Boolean, cannot be converted into the Boolean. See the same example in Python. You may implement the same point in C, C++, Python. If one non-zero value and print statement, else print statement. So if you execute this, you will get the output non-zero block. See now, whenever we are giving any non-zero value, this statement is treated as true because non-zero value is treated as true, zero values are treated as false. But that is not valid in Java. I think it is clear. Next, character data type. Character data type is used to store a single character. We use the keyword char to represent character data type. We should not write the complete word character. Character data type takes 2 bytes of memory in the computer. The range of the character data type is minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 65,535. So completely we can store 65,536 values. The character may be a digit or alphabet or special symbol. But the condition is that character must be enclosed within the single quotes. Then only that character is treated as character literal. See this example. Character variable name assignment. I am using one character. In this case, that is alphabet. That should be enclosed within the single quotes. See the second example. In this case, I am assigning a digit as a character. As per the rules, that should be enclosed within the single quotes. Now see a very important point. Suppose if you remove these single quotes, that will raise an error. Because 5 is a integer value if you are not writing single quotes. If you write single quotes, that is treated as a character literal. If you want to store a space, that is also treated as character value. Now example 4. In this case, I am trying to assign 2 characters. Even though I am using single quotations, but I am writing 2 characters. This is invalid. That allows only single character. Now see, in this example, we are creating a character variable and assigning some character, and that should be enclosed within the single quotes. Then if you want to print, just use the println statement. CVAR value is and concatenated with that variable name. Now see, the output is CVAR value is A, because the value we stored into the variable CVAR is A only. This is how to create character variable and how to assign the value, then how to print the value. You may get the doubt. Generally, in C, C++, character data type occupies only 1 byte of memory. But why character data type occupies 2 bytes in Java? To know that, we need to know some points. First one is, why the range is expressed in the numbers. In the previous slide, we have seen that the range of the character data type is expressed in numbers. But we know that we can store only characters. But why the range is expressed in numbers? We know that all the characters on the keyboard are translated into the integer values called ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. This is a standard maintained by every keyboard manufacturer. The processor recognizes the character uniquely from its ASCII value. 65,536 distinct characters can be recognized, but we never use these many characters since our keyboard contains English alphabets and some other characters. Totally the number may not be exceed 256. To represent 256 different characters, 1 byte memory is sufficient. But why the Java uses 2 bytes memory is, Java supports to store the characters not from the English language. We can store the different symbols from the different languages also. For that, Java maintains a system called Unicode system. Unicode system uses 2 bytes to store a character. That is the reason Java occupies 2 bytes of memory. So as we discussed, Java uses Unicode system to store character values internally. Then Unicode system is encoding standard that provides a unique number for each and every character. Now see this example program. Already we know how many bytes of memory is required to store integer data type, float data type and so on. If you want to get that information with help of the program, how can we implement that? To get the size occupied by a particular data type, we use wrapper classes and one attribute called size. For each and every data type, the Java maintains a special class called wrapper class. For byte data type, we have byte class. For int data type, we have integer class. Okay, like that, every data type maintains its own wrapper class internally. Suppose I want to get what is the size occupied by the byte data type. For that, what we need to write is size of byte is. We need to write byte wrapper class name. Byte is a wrapper class name dot size. Size is a predefined attribute. With help of that attribute, we can get what is the size occupied by the byte data type. But by default, the size attribute returns in terms of bits. If you want to know the size in terms of bytes, you must divide this value by 8 because 8 bits equals to 1 byte. In the same way, if you want to get the size of any data type, you can use the same logic. Suppose if you want to know size occupied by the integer data type, you must write like integer dot size. Then execute it. Now see the output. About the byte data type, size of byte is 8 bits. After converting into the byte, size of byte is 1. And coming to the int also, size of int is 32 bits. Otherwise, size of int is 4 bytes. Try to implement the size attribute for the all remaining data types and mention if you are facing any problems while implementing this, you can mention it in the comment box. Next, already we covered range of all data types. But if you want to get that range with help of the program, for that we can use the predefined attributes minimum value maximum value. We should write in capital letters only, and min underscore value we must write in that format only. Coming to the byte, the minimum value of byte is, you can get that value by using wrapper class name dot attribute name is minimum value, that returns minimum value of byte type. And if you use max underscore value, that returns maximum value of byte type. So in the same way, if you want to know minimum value of long, you must use a wrapper class long, where L is capital, long dot min value, long dot max value. So try to implement the same logic for the remaining data types also. Now see about the byte. Minimum value of byte is -128. Maximum value of byte is 127. Then this is the minimum value of long and maximum value of long. Now let us see the summary about the complete data types concept. We started our discussion with what is data type, what are the types of the data types, and later one of the category of the data type is primitive. In the primitive we have three categories: numbers, boolean, character. Just now we covered about the boolean and character. And in the numbers we have two categories again: integer, decimal. We covered about the integer values like byte, short, int, long. We covered decimal data types, float and double. So integers can be represented like a number without fractional part. Example is 1035. Decimal values examples are with fractional value 65.35 or 89.265 and so on. The values we can use for the boolean are true and false. And for the character data type we can use any alphabet, number or symbol, but those must be enclosed within the single quotes. This is the summary of primitive data types. Check your knowledge, what you learned from this video. Is non-zero number treated as 1 in Java? Why character data type range is expressed in numbers? What is Unicode system? Why character data type needs 2 bytes in Java? Why do we use size, min value, max value attributes? If this video is useful to you, do subscribe the channel, like and share the videos. Thank you.